With the coronation just days away, the King and Queen are inspecting their modified crowns.
We have Martin Swift, Crown Jeweller before myself.
It's taken months of painstaking work to alter the regalia.
What we'd like to do is show you a little of what went on behind the scenes.
It'd be a great deal easier to wear like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What a task to have to start the chopping.
Yeah.
Oh.
From what we can see, there are 8 slit pieces that have been made to make it smaller.
Yeah.
So I think what we're actually doing is bringing it back up to the size it used to be.
But this has happened for generations.
The last happened, we think, in 1911. There was some alteration done to it from when we opened it up, we saw.
Mm.
It was very much a hands-on type of crown, this one. Given that it was made in 1660 by some poor souls sitting in a very cold workshop.
Goodness me.
Possibly with daylight, more likely by candlelight.
Without specs.
Yeah,
yes.
Without specs in those days. It's incredible engineering for the time,
And
really.
with plague and goodness knows what, and fires going on.
This may not be instantly recognisable.
Yes, that's imperial.
It is.
My grandma was had a very small head.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have to be redone.
Redone for that, yeah. Or it higher, maybe higher up.
Yes, it's
As far as we can tell, it wasn't made smaller for her. So I assume that your grandfather had quite a small head as well.
He did, I think. Because the really interesting thing is that little
And that goes in now.
Ruby on the top.
I still have a feeling a plume went in it or something.
Correct.
So that is the legend that Henry V had his plume on his helmet at the Battle of Agincourt.
It's so wonderful, that.
Yeah, it's an amazing piece of history, isn't it?
Yeah.
To prepare for Coronation Day, rehearsals have moved to Westminster Abbey.
So request, could it not touch the gilding?
Okay,
There's going to be a lot of business with robes on this side.
fine. So I'll just stick to the original.
Please.
Happy. No, right.
So we're now at 3 days, I think, till the coronation. There have been so many different rehearsals. We started very small, just a small group rehearsing with the King and Queen, and that's now expanded to a kind of cast of thousands.
So this is the bit we've been constructing for the last week or so to enable the procession to come in without any steps onto the theatre. A rather beautiful carpet, and as you can see, they've done the mouldings from the choir stalls. So my name's Paul Baumann. I'm the Receiver General here, which is the equivalent of a Chief Executive of the Abbey. So you'll come up here, and today we're welcoming the Princess Royal.
It's changed from yesterday, Mum.
Seating plan will probably change before Saturday, so don't let's worry about it, okay?
She's coming to check the route of her procession in, and then more importantly, the route of her procession out.
And at that stage, am I joining in the procession?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I think for everybody who took part, it had to come together. And it was no good somebody going, oh, I'm just turn up on the day and read the bits of paper. It's not going to work. Right, and the Samaria door is the one down there.
I'll show you. It's the one we came in fact, but I'll show you also the room where you can leave your cape, your cloak behind. Yeah.
Really want to see the route out, and I don't think it's ever worth taking somebody's word for it. The other thing is that you have to leave it late enough so that after the television cameras have appeared and put their wires down, that you can still get out the door you thought you were going to get out. You may know where you think you're going, but you know, by the time the television are finished, maybe not so easy.
I just remember walking into the Abbey, and in every corner there were people practicing various things. It was very well organised chaos.
The other arm.
Right, so we've got Louis here, Gus back here, Freddie.
I keep calling it a wedding. It was extraordinary because it did feel like a wedding, and people kept referring to Annabelle and I as the bridesmaids, which we really didn't like very much. But it did certainly feel like a wedding because it was a family occasion. It was in church. It was very serious, and yet it had a fun side to it.
That's on. How does it feel? Because it's up on the thing. You want us to move you forward? Everybody's got, somebody's got hold. Yes, we are. Down the other side. They've got it. Can you walk forward?
She has got a great twinkle, and it comes out very readily, and it puts people at their ease very quickly.
We had the whole rehearsal outside us last night, all night long. What?
The bands and
everything. 5 o'clock till 5. I feel like sort of something that's been put in a carriage.
like a horse.
Yes.
So, as on the day, I think you'll be coming in straight
Coming in straight.
to Churchill.
Sorry.
And then you're going the north side.
So she knows when to be serious, and she knows when to wink at a bishop, but when not to, which I think is a rather endearing quality.
Oh yes, bishops. Sorry, should have called you.
Good morning, Your Majesty. Good morning, boys. Good morning.
The first train that the Queen comes in, the wonderful Victorian red silk velvet and ermine train, is quite heavy apart from anything.
We've got a rope at last.
Good. Does it feel comfortable, Matt?
Yeah. Keep up a little bit. Boys, putting it off there.
Okay.
So for those small boys, it was teaching them how to hold it properly, keeping it straight so that it didn't bunch up as she was walking along. And it didn't pull her backwards, because if they didn't keep to the right pace with her, she would be pulled backwards because it was on a sort of strapped sort of thing on her shoulders. So that took a bit of getting used to.
You look as if you're about to jump out of a plane with a parachute.
Yes, yes, well, we had a really good night because they had the whole rehearsal past our window.
Oh, so you've slept so well.
I slept so well.
Well, at least it's not the night before, I suppose.
Ahead of final rehearsals, the crown jewels have started to arrive at the Abbey.
Mark, can I just feel the weight of that thing? Thank you. That's easy. That's all I needed to do.
Do you lift this one as well?
There was a big debate about whether we should all be wearing gloves, and then it was decided that probably we were more at danger of dropping things if we were wearing gloves than without them. So, no gloves.
You can do it 2 hands, yeah.
They're beautifully weighted.
Yes. Yeah.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
The Prince of Wales has a key role in the coronation.
Yes. Wow, look at that food.
This is a chance for the Prince to support the King as he prepares for his big day.
I think what struck me particularly is how extraordinarily affectionate they are. They're clearly a very close family, you know, of all the generations. And in a sense, you felt you're part of a family occasion as well as, you know, a royal occasion and a national occasion.
Archbishop, good morning.
Good morning, Your Royal Highness.
Very nice to see you.
It's very nice to see you. Oh, Your Royal Highness, how lovely to see you.
Very nice to see you too.
You're on now, sir, I think.
And I've got
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
Sorry.
It's out of this world. And Garter is going to lead you up there, sir.
So will you just walk? You just walk towards me, will you?
Yeah.
Walk towards you, nod, and you'll come up, and I will.
And just follow him. And if you ever get lost, sir, in this, you just look confident and bow.
One of the Prince of Wales' duties is to present the King with the stole royal. This garment, made of golden silk, symbolises the sacred nature of kingship.
So, Your Royal Highness, if you put the stole over the King's head,
Okay, and we will.
and then the bishops will make sure
We'll make sure it gets hooked on.
properly. We bring in the robe. So the robe goes on, and then, Your Royal Highness, if you come and fix the clasp.
She goes in. It's into a little slot. Done it. That's it. Yep. Okay. Let's try that again. It's quite a small cache. On the day, it's not going to go in, is it? So that works.
You haven't got sausage fingers left, Mark.
No, well, I hope I get it in the right place.
You're conscious of the deep history of coronation rite. We have been doing it like this for 1,000 years. You're also aware that you are seeing a little glimpse of the future. Here is a future king. What is it like for him to watch this happen? He has to be aware that there will come a day when he too will be thinking about facing this challenge.
Receive the royal sceptre, the ensign of kingly power and justice.
I think we'd always known that His Majesty, all those years of Prince of Wales, how he was a man who felt things very deeply and very passionately, and always spoke very passionately, sometimes unsettling people because he did speak with such passion.
May the Spirit of the Lord who anointed Jesus at his baptism so anoint you this day, that you might exercise authority with wisdom and direct your counsels with grace, that by your service and ministry to all your people, justice and mercy may be seen in all the earth.
And seeing that close up, you realise that, yeah, this is a man who believes very deeply and passionately and really cares, really cares about things, and cares about people. So the fanfare begins. He wants to give of himself for the good of others.
I have a memory that is probably about as good as our spaniels. In other words, 0. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be amongst you and remain with you now and... No, that can't be right.
Always. You must have said this before.
I knew that.
Yes. Be with you and remain with you always. Amen. Amen. He gave me a nice smile, nodded his head, but that was a glitch.
So, the homage.
The homage is the moment when those present pledge their allegiance to the king.
So, Your Royal Highness, step straight in and kneel.
I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb, so help me God.
I think the moment of the Prince of Wales kissing his father, the homage, it's a moment that a lot of people saw and kissed the king.
Do I stand up on here?
That really wonderful connection.
Yes. Wasn't it that side?
Your left side?
It is normally the left side.
Left side? Do that side again. Your left cheek is better.
I mean, priceless. Do you want to hold them, take them back? I think at this point you might just leave them with the bishops. And then the bishops can place them on the shrine altar.
Right.
So there will be a little pause there.
This thing gets quite heavy. Are you staying in a hotel?
Yes, we are staying in the Novotel straight opposite Lambeth Palace.
Oh, is he?
My wife's here as well.
Good. That's a beat on it.
No. She's going to watch it on television.
It's so frustrating. We can't put other arms of it.
No.
Today's rehearsals are over.
You're not coming to the dress rehearsal?
I'm on Friday, actually. George and I are back here on Friday.
I'm here tomorrow.
You're here tomorrow?
Yes, here.
The King and Queen have only 2 more days to practice before the big day.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. See some of you again later. Or your stand-ins.
Much later, really.
Not much later.
Now only hours away, the anointing oil has arrived from Jerusalem.
Well, this is a moment.
Isn't it just? Yes, what an extraordinary few days. Seeing the
is.
Abbey come together has been absolutely marvellous.
I am stunned by the work everyone here has done, and I've never seen it looking better.
I have the oil. So
Oh, thank you.
Get it. There we are.
Goodness
I know.
me.
Isn't it extraordinary? Yes.
Gosh, you could make a fortune selling that.
The king will be crowned monarch of the United Kingdom and 14 other independent nations, which are known as the Commonwealth Realms. To celebrate this bond, the king has invited the realms leaders to a pre-coronation lunch.
It's lovely, familiar faces. It's really good.
Thank you for coming all the way. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event, and we've just had the death of Her late Majesty, and she did 70 years of exceptional service to the Commonwealth. And now she's being succeeded, and I think that he'll make a success of it.
It is very important that they're there and that they want to be there, they want to be part of it, is extremely important for the future of the Commonwealth.
Making me feel brilliant. He's a very charming person, a very warm and a very friendly person. I admire the way he communicates, he interacts with you. That, to me, speaks to the measure of our king.
With well-wishers filling the streets of London, His Majesty has one more important duty to fulfill.
Nice to meet you.
Where do you all come from?
The United States. Yes, sir. Yes, we did.
Special.
Special.
Very nice to see you. Oh, is that Lee? Hello, Lee. Come and say hi to you, Lee, when you're back over here, but I hope you get better soon.
Yeah, bless you.
Have a lovely day tomorrow, sir.
So much for your time.
I'm the face from Germany.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Good luck for tomorrow.
So
You guys are coming on.
We are staying.
Are you kidding with this, guys?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So nice to see you.
Congratulations. Congratulations. All the way from Australia.
We were sort of picked up by coach outside my flat with outriders and everything at 6:30 in the morning. That seemed totally surreal, to sort of go through central London in a bus with all these various people. Some people dressed already for the service, some of us ready to be dressed. And then we arrived at Buckingham Palace, and it was like being in a play, because literally walked in, makeup, hair, costume.
Very straight. Together. Morning, Nick. Where's Nick?
But it wasn't until we were all ready that we actually all came together to see each other for the first time. She hadn't seen our dresses, she didn't know what we were going to look like, and we hadn't seen her dress. And that was a very special moment. That was when it was quite like a wedding. It was like, you know, it was the bridesmaids going to see the bride.
And just be careful of
Yeah, you won't tread on my dress with that sword. It's going to be a proper
short steps.
Yeah. There we are, with all the lads. Yeah.
Scout might be
Should we go and get ourselves organised down there?
Someone always to get pulled over. Morning.
There was just a really exciting moment of just getting them into that carriage the first time, and then we knew we were off.
When I thought back of, you know, being 2 years old and watching the Queen's coronation, you know, on a tiny black and white television, and there goes this golden coach with my sister in it. I can't explain the feeling because it's so surreal and this cannot be happening. Yeah, it was quite a moment.
We were ready, and we were ready to go out and face literally the world. Yeah.
Going into the Abbey, I think I had that nervousness all the time. She's quite a bit smaller than I am. I'm feeling, oh my God, is she going to be all right?
We often remark upon how grateful we are that our schools did a lot of drama, and both of us spent time on stage. It's really good training. Apart from the fact it gives you a bit of confidence, but it teaches you about learning lines and making sure you do the rehearsals and understand what's involved. So you get it absolutely right.
The King took a profound interest in the coronation. There were a number of significant alterations.
Lord Kamal, representing British Muslims.
This time, other faiths were present in a way that was inconceivable in earlier coronations.
And next, Lord Patel, representing the Hindu community.
There was a diversity, there was an energy about the way we were offering back to the nation and the Commonwealth what kind of a community we are.
Presentation of regalia complete. The moment of crowning has arrived.
Yes, it's about a man born to be king being crowned, but actually how much it says about every life and every human destiny. For me, it was about the sort of the human destiny under God, sort of writ large, and with, you know, the most gorgeous jewels.
God save the King!
I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
The principle of sort of touching the crown. I mean, the idea of that is, it is partly about a sort of pledge that I will help you wear the crown. And I think His Majesty sort of mouthed, "Thank you, William."
She was obviously incredibly nervous. She doesn't show it a lot, but I know her well enough. No, I'm not at all nervous, but of course she was. I mean, you know, this is the most extraordinary moment in your life, which the whole world is going to see.
There was quite a funny moment when I thought she was sort of slightly backing away from the crown, but I think that was just because she was worried that the Archbishop was going to tread on her dress, so she was just sort of pulling herself back.
I think he was very proud of her. And I think there was a sense of, I can't believe it, we've made it.
What we'll do at an appropriate moment, we'll give them 3 cheers. And what I always do in the Navy is to throw my hand up in the right-hand side. 3 cheers for the King and the Queen. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hooray! Hip, hooray! That's what we do. Perfect. Okay. Now we'll have to wait.
Well, it was wonderful because everybody was in the it's a sort of grand entrance hall. There's all the household. And everybody gave them 3 cheers.
3 cheers for the King and Queen. A bit.
Getting back to Buckingham Palace, what a relief. It's done and it's been brilliant. It was sort of almost take your shoes off.
Well, ask any actor who comes off stage, having done a performance that they really put a lot into, is that kind of relief.
I know you can't.
And then to walk out to the terraces to see, I think it was 4,500 soldiers lined up in immaculate order.
3 cheers for His Majesty, the King, and Her Majesty, the Queen! Hip, hip! Hip, hip! Hip, hip!
He just loved that moment.
There was such an air of celebration. I mean, it's sort of cliche, but you could sort of feel the love. And then this extraordinary thing, which certainly we weren't expecting, being called out onto the balcony.
The King and the Queen will go out first, followed with the pages, followed by Your Royal Highnesses, the Waleses, and then the rest of the royal family.
Looking up the Mall, this amazing noise and the sea of faces and the cheering, I mean, it was mind-blowing. There's a wonderful shot just of the 2 of them. I mean, it makes me cry thinking of it. There they are.
With the coronation over, it's back to work for the royal household. But there are summer highlights, which everyone looks forward to.
I'm a coachman at the Royal Mews, and we're just preparing for day 3 of Royal Ascot. It's the first big event since the coronation. Today we're running 3 bay teams, that's 12 horses, with just a grey team in front for the King and the Queen. So in Windsor Great Park, the royal family get out of the cars and into the carriages. And then once all the guests are in the carriages, we'll be given a hats off and off we go.
Hello and welcome to Royal Ascot for day 3 here at the most famous racecourse on the planet.
Today is a poignant moment for the King. This is his first Royal Ascot without his mother. She was a passionate lover of racing.
The late Queen had a tremendous ability to understand the horse from when she was a princess, very young. She loved the breeding side of it and tried to develop a horse, as she once said, that can just run faster than someone else's. The King and the Queen have very much committed themselves to carry on the mantle which the late Queen set up for them to inherit.
The King has a horse running in one of the big races of the day.
All right, we're underway. The King George V Stakes, the 1 mile, 4 furlong race, and we've got some local interest in this. Desert Hero is owned by the King. It's going to be quite tough. Burglar is the favourite here, ridden by Frankie Dettori.
Champion jockey Frankie Dettori is racing against the King's horse.
And here comes the King's horse dashing through the middle. It could be a win for His Majesty the King. Yes, it is! Royal Ascot, very royal, as Desert Hero becomes the first winner for King Charles III and Queen Camilla.
He came from absolutely nowhere.
For the King and Queen to have got themselves a gold medal, I mean, it brought the house down. They had tears in their eyes in the box. They were so touched by it.
Well done. First Royal Ascot win. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, wasn't it? Come on,
My house was tiny and I was looking at yours and he was weaving his way for it, but I couldn't really tell if it won or not. But when I heard the cheers, it is definitely one. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Never thought you could get through all that.
And how close was it? Brilliant. Brilliant. How amazing. First year, boom, winner. Right?
Yeah. My late mama won this race in 1955.
Oh my God.
So she would have been so thrilled.
I know. I think she'd be more thrilled for you to be here for 5 days straight.
I don't think I could do another winner. It would be too much.
I think we should make our way to the paddock
Better go, come on.
before I miss my ride.
You're all right.
Of course, we're all waiting for Frankie Dettori to see if he might get a win as well, because it's his final Royal Ascot.
Courage Mon Ami is 6-1 at the moment, so Frankie Dettori with a chance.
We've had the King winning, so we now want a Frankie winner. That would just top the day off.
Yeah, not out the question. So they're heading down the hill. Keep an eye on Courage Mon Ami, who's coming well. Frankie Dettori, this could be his crowning glory at Royal Ascot. We've got Coltrane, the local horse, up against Courage Mon Ami into the final furlong. They're neck and neck. Frankie Dettori slides ahead. Courage Mon Ami takes over the running, and it's Courage Mon Ami and Frankie Dettori, his crowning glory at Royal Ascot, a 9th Gold Cup win. Who writes that man's script?
This is a double whammy. We've got the King presenting the trophy to Frankie Dettori. Incredible scenes down here.
I think Queen Elizabeth would be very proud of her son, King Charles, that he's had his first winner, that he's supporting what she loved for so many years, horse racing. He's really took Royal Ascot on board and he's enjoyed the whole package, and may long continue.
It's late summer and the countryside is in bloom. The King is enjoying one of his passions, nature. Today, he's visiting a stretch of coastline which is being named in his honour.
We're at one of England's 220 national nature reserves. This one was first established in 1968. But right now, Natural England is working with partners to make this reserve much, much bigger, to make a super national nature reserve covering more than 30 square kilometres. Because what we're in the process of doing in England at the moment is moving beyond what we used to call conservation and moving into a period of nature recovery. So this is a new generation of national nature reserves, and that new generation we're calling the Kings series.
Has it got better and better?
Well, this is dune grassland, and this habitat is fantastic for insects of all kinds, including butterflies, and also...
And a toad.
And here we are, look. Here we are. Now, this is a very rare species, you'll be aware. Natterjack toe with a yellow stripe.
They were originally found in quite a lot of Lincolnshire, in the fenland as well as along the coast. But now we just have the one population in Lincolnshire.
Because of the loss of their habitat, presumably.
Yes.
But we've had a really good success story. The population is booming at the moment.
One of the things about King Charles's contribution on the environmental side is that not only has he got enormous depth to what he thinks and says about all of this, but also enormous longevity on his contribution, of course.
We are faced at the moment with the horrifying effects of pollution in all its cancerous forms.
Right now, up to 15 million people are at risk in the dry lands of Africa. The conclusion I draw is that the future of mankind can be assured only if we rediscover ways in which to live as part of nature, not apart from her.
He is, I think, possibly the most significant environmentalist the world has seen, given that he's been doing this for 50 years, and he's been ahead of the curve on pretty much every single subject.
It's rather wonderful to see quite so many butterflies at the moment,
Yes.
suddenly.
You've timed your visit very well. The sun's just come out. We've got some butterflies at the front.
well
Do you want me to go through them?
Yeah, sure. We had the Essex skipper in the front.
An Essex skipper.
Which is lovely.
Mm.
And we know it's an Essex skipper because of the antennas. Would you
Look
like
at
to
that.
release one?
I'd simply love to.
Of course.
Which one?
We have a gatekeeper, if you'd
Yes.
like to release.
Right.
Just simply open, just turn the top.
Yes.
And you...
Yeah, I imagine with the sun out, it'd be quite keen to
really
fly
be.
away.
Yes.
for a
Really?
bit.
Here we go, lovely.
내가 고시시대로리 유가사기 오백대로 오니까가 마음이가 따위 남이 모르고 이사시이까 이까라마이 유토시 쿠쿠라나 쿠쿠와가 코피레테 세토마키 코노가 나니까 니모라테 쿠사 비소와와 수베테 어디서 니거나
I think his motivation comes from his love of nature, his continuing interactions with nature, and the fact that we still can make a difference if we wish to. In England, there's no really, truly wild habitat left. So we do have to intervene and we do need to manage in order to hang on to these wonderful species of animals and plants that we have here.
I couldn't agree more. Yes.
Yeah.
But of course, half the thing has been the combination of man and nature over all these generations, which produce so many of the fascinating habitats and species that have come. And it's how to maintain that sort of relationship seems to me the important thing.
Like all environmentalists, the King, I think, is an optimist. Considering the effort that he still puts in to trying to get people to come together and think about solutions, you have to be an optimist to want to invest the time in that kind of process. So I think we need to wander down, Your Majesty.
Right. It's rather wonderful to see that sea lavender, isn't it? The
It's lovely, isn't it?
Just a short moment when you can see it.
Exactly. Yeah. And up here, look, we just have a kestrel to wave us farewell as we walk down.
Those keen eyes.
The King and Queen's first year is nearing its end, and the pace has been unrelenting. It's September, and the King and Queen have returned to Balmoral to recharge their batteries.
I think Scotland is where they both relax. He's been there all his life for long summer holidays, and I think she has really grown to love it.
Officially, this is royal downtime.
Yeah.
But for the King, the day job continues.
Mr. Good morning.
Good
morning, sir. Yes. Another day, another box, sir.
The Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Exactly. So the red boxes come in pretty much every day of the year, except Christmas Day and Easter Monday. It is quite an interesting crop today, which is it's handy. Yeah. They contain all of the documents that the King's going to have to look at, be they from the government, from the church, from the military. Foreign Secretary asks if Your Majesty would send a message to the King of Sweden, who's, can you believe it's his golden jubilee in the middle of this month.
Oh, great. Is this in Swedish?
Yes, James.
Splendid. So I hope that's right. Is it the Swedish?
Is it? Well, it is.
Yeah, right. You never know if somebody's fed you something frightful to say.
That would be very...
You've no idea that you've done it. Right, no, exactly.
So the King is an incredibly hard worker. I think that's one of the things that pretty much everybody knows about him. He works till very late at night, often well beyond midnight.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Then we move on to the Ministry of Defence. And of course, after 50 years as Prince of Wales, he's developed huge experience and expertise in an incredibly wide range of issues and interests.
It's always quite fun looking through to see if I can find names, you know, which remind me of people I served with.
Yes.
In the Navy who may have sons. I mean, I did find one last year.
Oh.
So that's interesting, that name.
Yes.
Because he'd been a commanding officer of a mine hunter at the same time as I had.
Gosh, how's
and
that?
when I asked, and it was true, it was his son who'd become an admiral.
It was his son?
Just shows how long ago. Anyway, so I wrote to my old friend and said that I'm so glad to have discovered it.
Challenge as always with these things to make sure we don't
not to put your
smudge them
big
along.
finger on it.
Exactly.
Which has happened.
It has indeed, sir. It has indeed.
It's a tradition that every September, the monarch invites some special guests to Balmoral.
Oh, Prime Minister, how are you?
Good evening, Your Majesty. Very nice to see you again. Good evening, Your Majesty.
Hello.
Hello. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
How were the games?
Oh, they were splendid.
Yeah.
At least
quite
it was
funny.
reasonably dry.
It is not, my usual weekly audience. It's a group of friends, family, invited guests who are staying for a weekend. Lots of dinners, lunches, lots of walks. And lots of eating. I mean, a lot of food. We have to figure out how to work up an appetite in the next couple of hours before dinner.
God, I'm sorry about that. We're going to send you out for a run.
Right, that's what Johnny was saying, but such a nice evening, actually. I think it's been an incredibly successful year. I mean, I've had the pleasure and the privilege of spending time with him over that year, and I've just seen him do it in his own way, as, of course, he should do, and do it brilliantly.
I just love the way all the sun comes through the curtains.
Yeah, it's marvellous, isn't it?
What's this one here?
Which one?
They are an extraordinary team, and I think it's whether they've sort of had to fight to get there or whether it's just because they've been through a lot together, and it's made them have a really strong bond.
Where's your ball back there? Oh, don't leave it.
They're all busy eating grass. What are you doing?
She loves eating grass. I think it's her greens for the day.
They're both huge walkers, very fit, both of them.
So well exercised.
Her with her mad dogs.
The last time she was in here, she found
I know.
a mouse.
I know she...
And the whole lot. Horrible little creatures.
Exactly.
Reappeared a bit later.
She is his rock. And I can't actually emphasize that enough. She's somebody who is completely loyal, and she isn't somebody who has huge highs and lows. He brings to her everything. I'm not talking about all of this, but, you know, he has such a knowledge and interest in so many different things which she wouldn't really have been open to if she hadn't met him.
It's lovely to buds on that bridge. Every child, when it comes here, they rush there and buds out on the bridge for hours.
You can't get it to come.
You know, they're yin and yang, really. They really are polar opposites, but I think it works brilliantly. Most of us, as we get to this sort of age, are thinking, yes, quiet times, but theirs is just gonna go like that, isn't it?